So, welcome to my FGO account overview. This month, I say I'm going to do an assortment of videos letting you know what I'm looking forward to for the upcoming year. And we're going to do it in this video right here. Also, there will be time codes in the description below just in case you want to jump around. Today, we're going to go ahead, like I said earlier, into my FGO account, show you my account, show you everybody that I summon, and just to show you how I'm doing my progress. I like to do this every year, so now we're in 2024, so now it's time to show you a progress update and how things have been going. There's no research, there's no what makes them good, there's none of that. It is strictly based on my own personal usage. Are they good? Aren't they good? You know, just different things like that, but it's going to be based on more personal experience. So I'm not going to go into all the detail what makes them good. I'm not going into any of that. This is just to let y'all know this is who I like and this is why I like them, and this is what they have done for me in my account, at least when I use them. Don't be surprised if you hear me say a lot of, oh yeah, but I don't use them like that or whatever. I don't know what I'm going to say as I go through this video, but like you heard me just said, most of these characters I don't even use. And honestly, a lot of it is just that I haven't got around to it. If you are a person who plays FGO, do me a favor, let me know what you think about my account. Is it good, where I can make improvements? And actually, you know, just give me like a letter grade from like A to F and let me know why. And don't give me some generic answer like, oh, I don't like it, or, you know, just, oh, it just doesn't look good. Like, you know, let me know where I can improve. Let me know what I should be looking for and ways that you think I can improve my account if you think that it can be improved. I'm just interested in hearing your thoughts. Doesn't mean I'm going to follow them, but you know, I just want to do it just for fun. I just want to see what people think. Also, remember, I am a free to play player, so I only really summon for the characters that I want. So just kind of keep that in mind. But I would definitely like to hear from y'all and hear your thoughts. Now, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and go through the craft essence. I won't go one by one. And then once I get to the servant, what I decided to do was I decided to do it differently. I'm going to show you by class because I feel like that's better and that goes faster. So let's go ahead and get started. And let me start by showcasing the craft essence. I'm not going to show you my second archive because there's really no point, because all of those are basically just kind of like extra ones I have. None of my 4 or 5 stars is over there, so there's really no point in showing you those. So I'm trying to go slow with it so you can see it. Oh, this is taking a lot longer than what I thought. Oh yeah, I just got these literally, I want to say last night. So let me know what you think. Do I have a good selection of craft essence? Am I missing something? Just let me know. Yeah, just let me know. Let me know what you think. So now we're gonna go ahead and let me showcase all my pulls. So let's go ahead and go over to Sabers. We'll start with Sabers. So now we're here at Sabers, and I'm just gonna go through each one, just let you know what I think real quickly. I'm not gonna take too much time on like the 1, 2, or 3 stars, but the 4 and then 5, I'll put a little bit more time in. But right now we're on Sabers, and yeah, let's go into Jason. Don't really use him, but I have Jason. I've only used Caesar once. I never use this guy. I never used this guy. I used him in Camelot. Now we're in the 4 stars. Let's start with Artoria Lily. Never really used her. Never used. I don't think I ever used Rama. I think I used him in the story. Lancelot. Not really the biggest fan of his design, but yeah, I definitely used Lancelot when he first came out. Gawain, as you see, I actually build them up. I actually do like Gawain, but I rarely get to use them. I think I'll only use them twice. I just want to quickly say I lied. If you look at the bond, I guess the correct answer is I forgot when I used them. Not I only used them like once or twice. This is gonna happen a few more times too, just so you know. Got her through the Halloween event. Never used her. Never used him. I don't get a chance to use her. I definitely like her design, but I just don't get a chance to use her. I mean, I'm pretty good with Sabers, which you'll see at the end. So I only used her, I want to say, once or twice, but I do like her MP. Her MP is actually pretty cool. It's like a VR video game, so I told you I was going to do it again, and I did it again. Now that I think about it, I did use her. I used her a lot during her summer event when I pulled for her. Outside that, I didn't use her much. That's what it is. And that's also a lie. I didn't try to pull for her. She just came out. You know what this dude reminds me of? This dude reminds me of, I don't know if you ever seen Aroni Kitchen. I think that's how you pronounce it. But he reminds me of a character in that anime. But I recently just got him, but I haven't even had a chance to use him yet. I love the idea of her and using her kit, but she's not, I mean, I try using her. You know, I actually do like her design. I actually did try using her, but she just wasn't working out. I like the concept of her being a self-healing defender, but yeah, I would say her attack, she basically makes a lot of battles a lot longer than what they should be. That's kind of my issue with her. Now we're on to the 5 stars. I will have to say I don't really get a chance to use her because I have other Sabers that I like to use, but I will say with her having an AoE as an MP, it's actually very beneficial, but she's cool. She was just a spook. I got her, I used her. She's not bad, but I just think that there's better Sabers out there, honestly, but she's not bad. This by far has to be one of my favorite Sabers I've ever used. I used her in the summer event. She is a beast. She's a lot better than what I thought, and honestly, she's actually one of my favorite characters in the entire game. Otika Alter, love Otika Alter. So when her summer form came out, I had to go for it. By far one of my favorite characters in this entire game. She's quick, but she's actually really good. She actually works the way I want her to work. I just wish I had better quick support, but I do like Otika Saber Alter. On to my favorite Saber in the entire game. Actually, probably in the top 5 characters so far. I need to clarify. And my number 1 favorite Saber, or better way to put it, my main Saber. Out of all the Sabers, actually out of almost every character in the game, Musashi by far is one of my favorite characters in FGO, and she's one of my favorite servants that I've ever summoned for. I like Musashi. She is a beast. I wish she had an AoE, but I don't care. Like, I just like her character. She was actually, I want to say, and I'm guessing, I want to say she had to be the 4th character I ever summoned for in FGO. Yeah, I think she was, off the top of my head, I think she was the 4th character I ever summoned for in FGO. Absolutely. But Musashi, by far one of my favorite characters. I've been using her for years. I'm trying to get her bond level maxed out. I've been working on that for a long time, but I don't care what anybody says. Musashi will always be in my top 5 of all time in the entire Fate series. She's always going to be top 5. But yeah, she's actually the first. Is she my first 5-star Saber? She might be my first Saber. Not my first Saber, but my first 5-star Saber. But she has been my main Saber for ever since I got her. So yeah, technically for years. So yeah, I like Musashi. I'm happy I got her. And the funny thing is when I summoned for her, let me make a correction because I don't know why they corrected here, but she is my 4th 5-star summon I ever made in the game. I didn't get her when her banner released. I got her the next time her banner came around, and I actually got her through the ticket. So it was kind of spook, but I was going for her banner, but she came out, and yeah, I've been rocking with her ever since. So Musashi absolutely has to be, again, top 5. I mean, it switches around, but she's always going to be top 3. And depending on how I feel, she's number 1. So absolutely love Musashi, one of my favorite characters in the entire FGO series. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and check out the Lancers. Alright, this guy I don't use at all. Leonidas. Of course, 300. That's the only reason why I like this guy. It's the only reason why I use this guy, because of 300. But outside of that, I rarely use this guy at all. I don't remember pulling for her. Well, I mean, I didn't pull for her, but I don't remember when I summoned for her. But I got her. I mean, I don't use her. I've never used her at all. At all. Cool Cullen. Just want to say this. If there's any Digimon fans out there, I always like to say this dude is the Leomon of FGO. That's just how he comes off. I'll be honest, I expect better from him. I mean, especially knowing his lore, but I mean, I still like him. I like him as a character. Alright, I'm just gonna call him Coob because I keep getting tongue-tied, but here's Coob from Prototype. I think I used them early on, I think, but I can't remember. Never used this guy at all. Never. Did I use Hector? I don't think I have. This guy is actually pretty cool. I actually do like this guy. Well, at least, was it a movie or was it a series I think I saw him in? But he was I like him more in the anime. Never really used him in game, just to be honest. Jaguar Warrior. She is just straight comedy. Like, that's what she is. She's just funny. I just like her because she's just a funny character, but I rarely ever use her, ever. And yeah, I never use this guy either. Now we're into the 4 stars, starting with Bathory, which I got her in the Halloween event. Or was she a spook? Cause I know one of the Bathories I have, she was a spook. I think this one was a spook. I am not happy that I wanted Altoria Lancer. I just wish that this wasn't the first version of her that I got, just to be honest. But I've used her like once or twice. This guy pissed me off because there's a period of time where I'll be summoning on banners and this guy kept... Because there's a period of time where I kept summoning on banners and this dude kept coming out. This guy, just looking at him, it just frustrates me. Never used them. Never used them. Vlad. Got him, pulled for him, never used them. Anna. Oh, man. Babylonia is one of my favorite storylines in FGO. And it made this character for me 110%. Because of that storyline, this is why she is actually one of my favorite characters in all of Fate. But I mean, I wouldn't even say it's an anime, it's the actual, like, the FGO story. She's actually one of my favorite characters in Fate, but I really rarely use her. I never used her before. Although I have heard that she's really good with quicks, but I just never got around to using her. The one that I like about her, let me go to character skin, is well, you haven't seen all of her. Well, I don't want to ruin it for you just in case you care about that. But I love the flames at the bottom of her feet. That's like the coolest part about her. But I just haven't had a chance to really work on her. Of course, Valkyrie. The thing with her is that I'm trying to get all 3 versions of her. So I'm trying to get 3 different copies so I can have 3 different versions. I don't really have to do that because you can just switch, I think, between all 3. But I don't know. I just want to have 3 different copies. So I haven't gotten around to using her either. So I do like her design, but I just haven't gotten around to using her. I do not know why she wasn't her own character. I love her design. Her design is legit. I love her as a Lancer. I just wish that she got her own banner and you could actually love her. Like, she needs more. She should have been a welfare so she could have more ascensions. That's what I was trying to say. I just don't use her that often. As you see, I maxed her out because she's actually one of my favorite welfare servants. I think at this point she is actually my favorite welfare servant. I don't know, I just wish she had more skins because I absolutely like her design. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, so I got 2 of her. I forgot about that. There's not much I can say. I don't really know much about her. I think I used her twice, but I really can't comment. I can't really say if she's good or not, so I'm not even gonna try to. And I recently got her. I got her from one of my banner pools. I forgot which banner it was. I know I did a short on it, but again, she's another one I just never got her around to using. Now we're at the 5 stars, and surprisingly, I only got 2. And only 1 is my favorite. But my first 5-star Lancer I ever pulled was Karna. I'll be honest with you, he's a lot more underwhelming. Watch him in, what was it called? Apocrypha, I think it's pronounced. But watching him in that anime, I expected so much more of him when I pulled him in the game, and he just doesn't measure up. Like, I'll be honest with you, I had a lot higher expectations. I thought this dude was going to be a powerhouse, and he's, yeah, you know, I mean, he's cool as a Lancer, but, you know, I just had higher expectations. My favorite Lancer of all time has to be Altoria Lancer. Okay, I'll take that back a little bit. All time is a little much. I would say currently that I have, yes, but there's some Lancers that I don't have yet that will actually be some competition for that #1 spot. So let me explain, because I have a history with her. She was the first one that made me rage quit FGO. Altoria Lancer was the first banner in FGO I tried to go for. And because I didn't get her and I used a lot of resources on her, I basically quit FGO because of that. But now that I got her, she needs a little bit more help, in my personal opinion. Honestly, I think she needs another rank up quest. I really only use her because I just like her design and I like her as a character. And to be honest, she's probably the only Altoria that I really like. I've never really been a fan of Saber outside of storyline reasons. Like, I have a thing about, especially with games like this, going after the main characters, I would say, or like the main like mascots of franchises. I would say the only exception to that was when I was a kid, I used to play Pokemon and went for Pikachu. But outside of that, it's very rare for me to like main characters, especially in like games like this. It's very rare for me to like main characters. So I guess you could say I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. Because I spent so much time and so much effort. Let me tell you this last story before I move on. So I actually got her last year, and I literally said in that banner, because I didn't actually have to summon, because she was going to be in the free ticket summon, like the free 5-star ticket summon that came out last year. But I said, no, I'm going to summon for her, because I summon for her almost every year since I've been playing this game. And I said, if I don't get her now in this banner, I'm just not meant to get her. So if I don't get her, I'm done. I'm not going to deal with her. I will never pull for her again. I'm done with Artoria Lancer. And then once I said that, she wound up coming out, and I would love to see a singularity in the future, bring her back and actually add her to the story, because I do like Lancer Artoria. She is my favorite version of Artoria. Plus I love Camelot. You know, I may be a little biased, but I love Camelot. Camelot's one of my favorite singularities out of all of them. I want to say it's number one, especially since I've heard Atlantis is probably going to be better. But anyways, with that being said, let me keep going because I've been talking about her for too long. Let's go ahead and move on to the next class. Now we're on to riders, and this one should be a lot quicker than Lancers because I don't have as many riders. Start off with this guy, which I'm not even going to try saying his name, not because I can't pronounce it, but because I keep getting tongue-tied. But anyways, with this dude, I've never used him. Never used. Blackbeard. Like the comedy of this guy, but never use him. She is a beast. When you're talking about the Fate Stay Night movie that just came out, oh, I forgot which one it was. Heaven Feels, that's what it is. Heaven Feels. Heaven Feels made me a fan of her. I love Heaven Feels because, well, she is a beast in Heaven Feels, and because of Heaven Feels, why I am a bigger fan of her than I've ever been. I haven't used her since I first started playing this game, just to be honest. Just fell to the wayside. Another character that I became a really big fan of because, well, not even anime, because of Babylonian. I freaking love her because of Babylonian. I love her character. I love her story. She is great. Oh, she has such a great art in Babylonian. But, even though that's true, I haven't used her since, again, I think my first year of playing her, probably the first couple of months, but I never used her after that. But I am a big fan of her because of the anime. I can't remember using him, but I guess I did. I'm actually liking him. I'm actually playing Atlantis right now, and he's one of the main characters in that story, and because of Atlantis, I'm actually becoming a fan of this guy. He's actually, I'll say it like this, he's a good guy. On to the 4-star. What the heck is this? Wait a minute. Oh, okay. That's why I was like, I didn't get her. I think she was well if I didn't get her, but I didn't realize what she was. Ooh, okay. So, I can raise an MP of level 1. I may have to use her after this video. Oh, I'm gonna use her after this video. Absolutely. Martha Ryder. I like Martha's design. She has a pretty cool design. So when I first saw this character, she used to confuse me because, so back in the day when I used to face her, either it would be Mary that would come out or it would be Bonnie that would come out, and they were like interchanged. And I was like kind of confused how they work. But now that I played the game and got used to it, now I understand how they work. I couldn't think of a better way to say that. I think he probably was the first welfare servant I ever got. Again, another character I never used. Ishtar, honestly, I'd rather have an archer form. And now we're into the 5 stars. Like I said, Ryder's gonna be quick. First one is Europa, which I think that's how you pronounce her name. I used to ticket summon on her. I kind of wish I put a lot more thought into summoning before I got her. I mean, I got her. I've used her, but she doesn't get much use. But she does what she's supposed to do. But my favorite rider that I currently have, out of all the riders I have, has to be Francis Drake. Now, I wasn't big on her, but Francis Drake was a spook. I didn't expect to get her. I was never going for her, but now that I got her, I actually do like her. I'll be honest with you. She grew on me. Moving on to casters. And casters, I'm pretty strong with casters, and you're about to see why as we go through this. Never use this guy. William Shakespeare, legendary, don't use. Hans, never use. I don't even really know who this guy is, honestly. I probably should look into him, but never used him. I only know her really from the anime. What can I say? Yeah, I don't use this dude. I think he was actually... I used him... I used to use him all the time in my first year playing FGO. I don't use him anymore. Cool caster. Yeah, I haven't used him since my first year of playing FGO. I don't use that guy. Never used this dude. Geronimo. I remember him in the history books. Never used him, but always wanted to. So I may have to level him up one day. And yeah, I never used him. Another Bathory, of course, got her in the Halloween event. Never used nursery rhymes. Never really was a big fan of nursery rhyme, to be honest. Oh yeah, Irisvale or Irisabel. I don't know. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce her name. But anyways, she's a welfare servant. I only wait for her because she rarely comes back. And yeah, since I got her, she has yet to come back. But use case, I only used her like once or twice. Nido Chris, funny. That's all I can say. Like, her character is just funny. Just a comical character to me. Gilgamesh caster, my favorite version of Gilgamesh, to be honest. I like him way better than his other form. Cersei, never used. The Queen of Sheba, I tried using her for a while. The problem is that I'm really strong in casters. That's why she doesn't get used. But I've used her a couple of times and I tried her out, but it's just I'm too good at casters. That's the problem. Sieg is probably one of my, out of all the protagonists in the Fate series, he is probably my least liked. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not a big fan of Sieg. And starting off, we gotta start off with Waver, which I still haven't watched his anime series, but I did watch him in, what's it? Not Apocrypha, right? Yeah, I want to say it's Apocrypha. So I don't know this version of him. I know this one. So I know about his younger form. But I do like his adult form a lot more. What can I say about Waver? He is actually really good. The problem is I don't get much use out of him because I have other characters, especially in the casters. I have other characters that are also really good too, and sometimes my teams don't really work with using him, but Waver is good. I do recommend, put it like this, if you don't have any of the main casters that you need to get, he's actually a good pickup. And I will say this, I use Waver. He's really good. I do like Waver. I use him in my arts team a lot of times. That dude is good. I really like Waver in arts. The number 2 caster in my list has to be Castoria. Now, I haven't got to her chapter yet, so I don't know if I like her as a character, but I do like her. Actually, I'll just be honest with you. The only reason why I even summoned for her, because I was going to skip her, was because the entire internet was like, you gotta get her. If it wasn't for that, I probably would have skipped her. But since the internet said she's a must pull, well, I got her. But the thing with her is, I didn't just get one. On accident, I wound up getting 2. I wasn't trying to get 2 of her. I'll just tell you, I was actually trying to summon on the Morgan banner, and I don't know what happened. I think I just wasn't paying attention. I got a 5-star, and I'm like, oh crap. And then I saw, I'm like, wait a minute, Castoria. I'm like, wait a minute, is she a... I thought she was limited. And then I looked at the banner, I'm like, oh crap. So I wound up getting 2 Castoria. So yeah, I mean, I guess Castoria, I mean, what can I say? I mean, I guess I'm just meant to have her. So, but my number 1 caster in the entire game has to go to Merlin, because simply for this reason, and this is why he's also in my top 3. This is why I say Musashi is interchangeable with my top 3. Simply put, Merlin was my first 5-star I ever pulled in the game. And when I first got him, I was happy, then I used him. And I'm just like, what is everybody talking about? Why is this dude good? He is terrible. Because you gotta understand, this was like my first time playing FGO after I rage quit. I remember when I came back, everybody on the internet was like, gotta get Merlin, gotta get Merlin, gotta get Merlin, gotta get Merlin. I'm like, all right. His banner came up. I said, okay, cool. His banner came up, and I'm just like, okay, cool. I'll go ahead and try it. So I wanted to try out the banner. I only used the tickets, which is funny. I only used the tickets. He wound up coming out at the 5th or 6th ticket, but he came out right away. And I was shocked. I was like, what? And it was a spook because I was not expecting him. I was like, yes. But then I got him. I started using him. And he was such a disappointment. And mind you, because I was using him wrong. Mind you, it was my first 5-star, my only 5-star. So I was using him as my main attacker, which is not how he's supposed to be used, but I didn't know that at the time. So that I would use him, he'll be super weak, and then he would die super fast. But that changed with the summoning of one specific person. And I will get to that a little later into the video. As the editing of this video, I realized I forgot to get archers. So now I gotta go back and get archers. I can't believe I forgot about archers. I didn't mean to, but we're gonna go ahead and go into archers right now. I can't believe I forgot archers. And starting with Arash, which basically he's just a nuke. I only used him like once or twice early on in the game, but I haven't used him since. So I recently got him not too long ago. I haven't used him. But as for Paris, I never used him. Robin Hood. Always liked the story of Robin Hood. I got him. I rarely use him. I only use him because I like the story of Robin Hood, but I've never actually used them for that long of a period. Never used her. David. Never used David. Gilgamesh Child. Never used. Billy the Kid. Yep. You see, this is the only guy who I thought I used, but I guess I never. No, I used Billy the Kid in the story. I did use him in the story, but I never actually used him. Never used him. William Tell. Never used him. On to 4 stars. Archer, Emiya. I used him like once or twice. I'm not even gonna try to use her name. I keep getting tongue-tied. But is she good? I haven't used her long enough to know she's good, but I know I've used her in the game and she was alright. I did like her though in Fate Apocrypha. Tristan, not a round table. I have a Camelot bias, but I only used them very sparingly because I was trying a round table team. Love her design, but I have yet to use her. So I did use her in the summer event, but that's the only time I really used her a lot. But outside the summer event, I never really have used her. And now we're on to the 5 stars. And starting off, let's go ahead and talk about Orion, which she was the second to last 5-star I actually pulled for. She was actually a spook. I haven't used her yet. As you see, I leveled her up, but I haven't used her yet, so I don't know if she's good or not. Arjuna. But I don't know. I can't say if it's good or bad. I haven't used him long enough. That's the best I can give you. So now for my number 1 archer by default, and my third 5-star summon that I ever did in the game, that is Artoria Archer. And once I got to use her, she is actually pretty good. She does seem, but I have found that I can recycle her. Or I should say I could get her MP up very, very fast. I just haven't really figured out how I do it yet. I haven't really got used to her because I don't use her like that. To be honest, to be 110% honest about her, she was actually a spook. I'm not going to lie. I was actually going for someone else, and it technically was a 4-star I was going for. And then she wound up coming out, and that's one thing I wish I could do. If I could go back in time, I wish I would have recorded my reaction, because when I got her was probably the most funniest thing. I wasn't really excited when I got her until I realized who she was, and then I lost my mind because I didn't think I was going to get her, because again, she was a spook. Artoria pretty soon here, if I keep getting her, especially when I don't want her, she might wind up, although Lancer kind of kills that. Lancer does kill that. Her Lancer form does kill that. But if Altoria keeps coming out without me wanting her and just keeps spooking me, if all these virgins keep doing this, Altoria might be in that category of I was meant to have. I'll put it to you like this. If I go for a banner and I wind up getting her Saber form, then at that point, I just think Altoria was just one of those ones I was just meant to have. But I like her Archer form. Her Archer form is actually really good. I do recommend you getting her as an Archer. She's actually a really good Archer. Now, we're going to go ahead and look at my Assassins. But this guy, I remember him from the anime. Never used him, can't really speak about him. Another summon I have not used since I've started the game. So I haven't used her in years. I actually just got Charlotte. I haven't tried her out. I mean, but I don't know if I ever will. But I will say this, I do like her in the game though. Well, my fault, not in the game. I mean, I do like her in the story mode. Hassan, became a big fan of him because of Camelot. Charles, can't really speak much on him. The Phantom of the Opera, you never used them. No, I think I used them once because I had to, if I remember right, but I'm not sure. But I think I did use them once. This is another summon that I've never used since I started the game. Actually, I think she was probably like one of my first summons that I've done in this game. And I remember using her and oh, she was really bad. She used to die all the time. Oh man, she did no damage. I basically had to kick her out the team because she didn't really help the team at the time. So Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, the one time I used him, I think I used him in a story. He actually was doing some damage, but that might be because of the story itself. So can't really say if he's good or not. Another Hassan. Again, I became a fan of Hassans due to Camelot. So what can I say? Camelot made me a fan of the Hassans. I definitely like him through the story. Which one? It was the Musashi story. So that's where I became a fan of him. Another Hassan. I actually used her once, but I forgot how she was. But again, Camelot made me a fan of the Hassans. Ezo. Yeah, this guy, Guda Guda, I actually did like him in Guda Guda. He's actually pretty funny. But yeah, that's how I know this dude's from Guda Guda. Never used her. The funny thing is, Carmella, she was actually, when I first started the game, she was actually the one I was going for. But I'm kind of happy I didn't get her. Again, never used her. Can't tell you how good she is, but I'm not mad with who I got and who I started the game with. But I can't tell you if she's good or not. Never really used her like that. The few times I used her, I didn't really like when I used her, but again, as you see, I don't have her fully leveled up. But I do remember her from the anime. I definitely like the anime. I didn't love the anime that she came from. It was kind of slow. I didn't even finish it. But the anime that she was in, it was just kind of too slow for me. I forgot what it was called. Emiya Assassin is my favorite designer. Emiya Skaha. I'd rather get her Lancer form, to be honest. Never used this guy. Never had a chance to use him, so I don't know if he's good or not. But I do like his artwork. I do like his design. Pretty cool. Never used her. Don't know if she's good or not. No, I take it back. I used her in the story mode. I did. But she was okay. For a while, she was actually my main assassin. I appreciate her. That's the best thing I can say. I appreciate her because she was my assassin. I did use her as my main assassin for a period of time. And, you know, I'm glad I have her. Let's put it to you like that. And of course, Otika Summer, which, as you see, I got her twice. And I really only like her because of the jetpack, I'm going to be honest with you, but I never really used her. No, that's not true. I have used her, but I don't remember using her. But I know I did use her once. But you see, that's the only reason why I like her. Because literally of her second ascension. And lastly, I only got one assassin, and that is Koyanskaya and or Tomomovich. And what can I say? The internet made me do it. That's all I can say. Is she good? Yeah. I mean, I still gotta learn, because I think I'm missing something because I haven't figured out how to loop with her correctly. Maybe I'm missing a craft essence or another character, but I do like Koyanskaya. She actually is pretty good, but the internet said to get her. I got her, and yeah, she's actually pretty good. Berserker. Spartacus. Love the show, hate the design. I think he's supposed to be the Minotaur, like in Greek mythology. Never used him. I mean, what can I say? I never used him. No, I have used him, and when I used him, because I used him in the story mode, he was strong, but that might be story related. That's the best I can say. Paul Bunyan, I definitely like her character. Never used him. Never used him. Got her out of the friends gotcha. Only used her like once or twice. Never used. Never used. Another character that I used when the game first started. I actually used her at the beginning, but as I started getting more characters or started doing more summonings, she just kind of fell off. So this guy, I am a big fan of his design, but I have yet to get him built, so I don't know how good he is. So I haven't built her up, but I love this form compared to her archer form. This is my favorite version of her. Nobunaga. Oh, it's Nobunaga, Nobunaga. Oh, I can't remember how to pronounce it properly. Oh my god, my pronunciation is trash today. Either way, this is her Berserker form or her summer form. And I think I was summoning for something else. I can't remember what banner she came in, but I kept summoning and she kept coming out. I literally got her 3 different times because she just kept coming. I never got around to trying to see if she's good or not. Cha-Cha, never used. Probably never will, to be honest. This is one of my first 4 stars that I ever summoned for, Beowulf. At least when I used him, he wasn't that good compared to who I was using before him. But then again, another servant that I used in my first year of FGO. This was my first 4-star that I summoned for, but this was one of the first ones. Tamamo Cat. Never used her. Actually, I think I just got her recently, if I remember right. I may be wrong. It was I either got her last year or recently, but again, never used her. Don't know how good she is. From what I remember, Lancelot Berserker was my first 4-star. And he was the first 4-star, or what's it called, golden summon, I guess, that I went through the game with. And again, I never fully worked on him or leveled him up like I should have, so he was good. And then I got to a point where I got stuck and I couldn't move forward. This dude did his job for the time that he was there, but yeah, I kind of moved on. But now, my very first summon in the entire game was Hercules, or an FGO Heracles. I like pronouncing Hercules, but I guess it's actually pronounced Heracles. But he was my very first servant in the entire game. So, and I actually like Hercules as a character. I hope they can Heracles as a character. I hope they come out with another form of him one day. But I absolutely, Heracles is by far, always will have appreciation for Heracles, because again, my very first summon, very first one out of the entire game. First person who I started the game with, first guy who I went through the game with. He may not be in my top 10, but he's at least in my top 20 for sure. And the first one on my list is, of course, Masashi Berserker. And honestly, I only got her because, as y'all know, Masashi is one of my favorite characters in the entire FGO universe. And so when her summer form came out, I had to go for it, and I wound up getting it. And this is another one that's kind of funny because I remember going for a banner when it came out, and I'm like, I'm not gonna get her. I'm probably not gonna get her. There's no way I'm gonna get her. And I kid you not, this was another summon session that I did, and she came out a lot quicker than what I thought. And she kind of was a spook. I think I either got her in the tickets or in like the first 10 summons, but I got her really quickly, like real quick. She was so shocking when I got her that I accidentally skipped her summon animation. Raikou. Freaking love Raikou. Raikou, this is why I had to get to her so I could talk about Merlin. Raikou was so important because she is the main reason how I learned Merlin was really good. Right after Merlin, her banner came out right after that, and she was a beast for me. As you see, I got her bond maxed out. She was literally the second 5-star that I ever summoned for. Of course, she was in my top 5. She was the one that pretty much got me through most of the game. I will always have appreciation for Raikou because, again, she got me through the game. She will always be in my top 5 forever. She'll never be outside the top 5 unless a crazy, amazing, servant comes out, but she's always been a beast for me. She was the reason why I learned how good Merlin was. She's the one who got me back playing. I don't use her as much as I used to, and the big reason why is because I'm trying to bond up everybody else who I want to get bond up, but she absolutely is one of my favorite summons of all time. So because this is grouped together as a special class, we're going to do this a little bit differently. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through each servant that I have left and just go over them, and then I'll let you know when I'm going through this what is my favorite one when we get to that class, because some class I only have one of, some class I have multiple of them, so I'll just let you know as we go forward. So that's what we're going to do. And of course we have to start off with Mash. And honestly, I rarely use Mash. She's actually a good defender, but I rarely use her. But I do like, if you look on the screen right now, I do like this outfit. I absolutely like this outfit of hers. This is my favorite outfit of Mash, but I mean, I guess by default, she's pretty much everybody's favorite shielder since she's the only shielder in the game. Next one on my list is the Foreigner Mysterious Idol X, which, I mean, I didn't play through her story. I didn't get it completed, but I will say that she's cool. I mean, yeah, I don't really have anything bad to say about her. I don't really know much about this servant, but she's cool. I mean, that's all I can really say. And my favorite foreigner of all the ones I've summoned has to be Mysterious Heroine X. My fault. Mysterious Hero. My fault. You know what? I'll just call her Double X. And simply put, I'm a mech fan. So, and I actually have used her a lot. She's not, I mean, there's not much use I get out of her, to be honest. But I do use her from time to time because, again, if you know me, heck, if you understand the theme of this channel, a big theme of this channel is Gundam. But I like to say mechs because I don't mind expanding outside of Gundam, but Gundam is a really big theme to this channel. So of course, anytime you have one that's like a mech, I'm going to definitely, have my biases to it. So, I mean, of course, there's probably some exceptions, but that's the big reason why I got her, and she's pretty much my only, well, she's not my only foreigner anymore, but she's my main. But for a long period of time, she was my only foreigner. So next one on my list has to be Ruler Leonardo da Vinci, and she's my favorite by default because she's the only ruler that I have. That's really what it is. Never used her. No, I used her in the summer event last year, but other than that, nah. She's another variant of Bathory, but this is my favorite variant because there's actually two of them, and I picked this one because this was my favorite. I'm hoping that event comes back next year because I want to get the other one. But other than that, I mean, there's not much I could say. I haven't used her, but I actually wanted her for a long time because, of course, as you know, I have a mech bias. Before we move forward, get your heads out the gutter, or you might wind up in a different dimension. Just saying. Passion Lip. Passion Lip she was actually my main, well, actually she was my only alter ego at the time. And I think I actually have some old footage. I think there's some more old footage of me playing it back in the day that if you actually look at some of the old footage of my gameplay, like from years ago, I think she's actually in there. But she was one of my first alter ego, and I tried to use her a lot because I was really trying to see if she could be good. I couldn't really find a use for her. I mean, she was good for, I mean, I guess the best way to put it is that she's a really good defensive unit, but I mean, at the end of the day, I rarely use her like I thought I would. I was trying to see if she would be good, and I used her for a little while too. But once I got other summons, she kind of fell out the rotation. And now we gotta go to basically my favorite Avenger and my only Avenger. And the big reason why I summoned for her was because I loved her design. And that is Demon King Nobunaga. She is I mean, from me using her so far, she's actually been a pretty good servant. Now I know she ranks high, but I know when I used her, she actually was doing damage. So I definitely do like her. Again, I have a bias because I love her design. Her third ascension is the one I like the most, but from this point, as I've used her, she's actually pretty good. So, but I can't say that she's probably the greatest servant out there, but she's good. I use her. So far, I like her. I'll put it like that. So far, I like her, but I don't know. And I'm glad to end with one of my favorite servants in this whole entire game. And that is Alter Ego Otika Alter. This is absolutely my main alter ego. She is, well, I mean, okay, I'll be honest, her saber form is a lot better. For how I like to play, her saber form is a lot better, but I definitely find ways to use her. I will say she probably needs a little bit of a buff. She's a little bit too weak for me to use, at least how I've been using her, but I like her a lot. You know, I love her design. She's absolutely in my top 5 FGO servants that I ever had. Definitely like her. Happy that I got her. I can't be mad. I hope that she gets a buff one day. I mean, I really do. But even with that being said, I'm glad I got her. And I know at the time a lot of people said that there was better servants that were coming up, but again, Otika Alter, I mean, what can I say? She's 110% in my top 5 that I currently own, and I'm glad to end this video on a high note. So, I want to thank y'all for checking out this video. I'll be honest with you, this video was not supposed to be this long. I don't know if I'll do another account overview like this again because I didn't expect it to be almost an hour. And I thought by going by class, it would be shorter, but I guess I was wrong. I don't know. I know for a fact next year I will be doing my top 10 servants. I would be doing that next year for sure. I was thinking about doing it this year, but I kind of want to hold off until next year. So 2025, you will see my top 10 servants that I own. So that's what I'm going to do. I think the next 2 videos, like I told y'all, this entire month, I'm going to be doing more videos like this, although I won't be doing as many as I thought I would. But the next one that's going to come up is for FGO servants that I'm looking for the rest of the year. And then I'm going to go in for all my Gundam fans out there. I'm going to go ahead and let y'all know my top 10 Gundams I'm looking for, which I'm not going to go into detail in this video because this is a different kind of video. But with that being said, I want to thank y'all for checking out this video. I definitely appreciate it, especially if you lasted all the way to the end because this is a long one. But for y'all who stuck around, if you're looking at the screen right now, I mean, there's some caveats to this, but basically what you're seeing right there is my top summons of each class with some caveats with the special class because I can't put all the special class on here, but I at least wanted to show you what my favorite servants I own of each class. So I made sure to do that so you can see that on the screen. That's for y'all who stuck around to the end. Once again, I want to reiterate, because I know this is a long video, that Remember, I'm doing this based on personal experience. I'm not looking at any guides, not looking at what anybody says, none of that stuff. Just my personal use when using these characters. So that's where it's coming from. And also, I can't even go into detail because, as you see, I'm not even going into that much detail, and it's already been almost an hour to record this video, which is, I didn't think it was going to be that long. So with that being said, I'm not going to keep you any longer. I want to thank y'all for checking out this video. I definitely appreciate it. And yeah, again, stay tuned. And also, just so you know, we got gameplay footage of Final Fantasy VII Remake that I'm currently playing through, and I'm also bringing back, well, I should say I started Mass Effect 2, which I am having a hard time with, not because the game is hard, I'm just neglecting too many things because I love Mass Effect 2. But anyways, with that being said, stay tuned for the last FGO account video that's coming out either this week, next week. And then also stay tuned for that Gundam video that's going to be coming out. And also, as the releasing of this video, I should be doing another live Gundam build this week. So look forward to that. But anyways, with that being said, I'm going to get out of here. And yeah, down below, I almost forgot. Make sure down below, do me a favor. Let me know what you think about my account, or I should say rate my account. You could do 1 through 10 or a letter grade from A to F, and just let me know why. You know, why is my account what it is? Why'd you give it that grade or that number? And tell me what I should do to try to improve it. Now again, I'm only doing this for fun. I may or may not take your advice. I may not go for the things that you recommend I go for, but I just wanted to do that just for fun. So yeah, so just let me know what you think about my account. Give it a letter grade and just let me, or even a 1 through 10, and just let me know why. Why do you feel that way? It's just for fun, but just remember this, and this is just what I believe. No matter what anybody says, play the game how you want to play it. Go for the characters that you want. I will always say, what is this saying? Waifu before meta. So yeah, I believe in that too. You know, go for the characters that you want, whether it's a waifu or a husbando. I'm learning the terms. But yeah, make sure to go for what you want. You know, and play the game how you want to play. You know, I'm only asking for fun, just to see what people say and feel. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna play the way I want to play. I'm gonna go for the characters I want to go for, and summon for what I want to summon for. But you know, I do want to just, you know, get people's opinion, and that's just what I want to do for myself, just for fun. But anyways, with that last message being said, y'all have a good one, and yeah, I'll see y'all in a future video.